Hey folks, on the Susquehanna today, sight fishing, standing up, drifting down on these fish. Here come a whole bunch of my sight fishing tips and tactics. I'm gonna spend a lot of today upright, standing, and this Rogue Fishing Company drag strap, which is also a stand assist strap, in the case that I'm using, really makes things easier to stand up. If you're interested in learning how to go upright, how to stand better in a kayak, I have a video on that. Go check it out. But for now, I want to be able to look out ahead of me and see those dark tails in the water and say, okay, here I come. So because I'm upright and I am going to motor a little bit as I go, I'm moving my kill switch for the Torpedo to my ankle. That allows the motor to keep running at a low speed while I just kind of reach down and steer on the pedals. I have actually changed the throttle such that I can get it higher. I can elevate it more than when it's sitting right down by my seat. So it's nice if they have access to deeper water. It's sort of a commonality, but they're usually in shallow water. And by deeper water this time of year, if you have 4.5 feet, yeah, that's deep water. They don't need, and there are some spots out here that are 8, 10, 11 feet deep. You don't need that kind of deep water. But if they can tail swish very quickly to 4 foot deep water, they're pretty happy. What they don't like are those long stretches where you never get deeper than 2 feet. That's the land of the dink. But these bigger fish, and you know, when I'm out here looking at it, as I come up onto a ledge system, I got one right here that, you know, I'm in 2.5 foot deep water. I just went over 4 foot deep water. So they're close to it. But I'm throwing right on the upstream side of these ledge systems. Came down below the ledge. I'm gonna come down here, and sawfish kind of scattering around. That's a good one. So big bait, big fish. Let's get in there. And I saw a bunch of fish moving out of the way as I drifted through, casted laterally, and got the first one on the swim jig. All right, I gotta turn the camera around for this one, because this is a great example of that isolated boulder boil out in the middle of nothing. I'm gonna zoom in very slowly. When do you see it? When does it jump out at you? Whatever that is causing, whatever is causing that disturbance is a fish holder, because this whole area is like this deep. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, my kneecaps would be wet, but that was about it. And I don't think it's a whole lot deeper there. So we're gonna move over on that isolated boulder boil. I'm assuming it's a boulder. It could be a log. It could be anything. But we're gonna come up, and I've drifted downstream from it. I'm going to drift down and come back up to it, because the fish are usually facing up. If you come up on the blind side, you're more likely to catch them. All right, I decided to hop out and show you bow to stern the setup. I'm not going to go through all the accessories. I'm going to show you what I'm actually doing when I'm upright. I know it's a weird perspective to watch me, you know, fish and film from underneath. So I want you to understand the mechanics of what's going on here. So I got the motor there, it's pulled up, but normally it's down. If I need to feather it to go a little bit shallower, I have that pull there that I can pull partway back. And what that does, I mean, normally it's down, it's all the way in the water. It's shallow though, but if I want it up just a little bit, I can feather it by just taking up a little bit of that slack. I operate like that quite a bit. With the foot control steering, I'm reaching down with my hands because my feet are there and there. and I'm able to, because the extension on the Torpedo throttle mount, it's close to, it's about where this pocket is. It's right here. I don't have to like reach real far. I do with the pedals, but I use them less frequently than I use the throttle. And I'll feather that on and off. And that is, you know, what gets me moving in this direction or that direction. And then I shut it off. And yeah, when I shut it off, I just drift and look. Drift and look. And if I find that the motor is banging, you know, for sure, I go ahead and get that sucker pulled up so it's not an issue in terms of spooking fish. But that's how I'm standing up, motoring, looking, sight fishing, the whole thing. Hopefully that gives you some perspective on what's going on here. It actually burns a lot of calories, much more than you'd think, so I think it's granola bar time. So when I'm sight fishing, I'm usually upright, got the polarized sunglasses on there, and I'm positioned in a way that I'm facing a tree line out in front of me. That's because the reflection of the tree appears dark and doesn't have the same glare that the reflection of the sky has. And that allows you to really see the fish clear as you possibly could. That dark reflection of the trees makes sight fishing so much easier as opposed to looking out here in the open water and just seeing the reflection of the sky. So when it's too shallow to use the motor, I'm using the paddle. I have the motor up, and just to position, I'm letting the breeze kind of take me downstream. But if you've seen the video on the sculling draw in the kayak fishing skills section of the channel, watch that video. I'm just doing the same thing, but I'm doing it from a stand-up position, you know, with the full length of the paddle. When you're sight fishing and you see a fish and he's moving with purpose, you're not catching that fish. He's already seen, heard, or felt you, and if anything, he's coming over to check you out. So when you come up on spots, like I'm coming up on a set of ledges, there's a tire right in front of me. It has a little one on it, so I know I'm in the right area. But I'm gonna stop using my paddle. I'm upwind. That's not what I wanted to throw. Got the swim bait here, and I'm drifting into place. You got to be patient and drift into place. There's one there. So I just came down through right there and spooked a good fish right here. What do you do if that's the case? What do you, like, how do you handle that? You know, there's probably other ones in the area, so you don't want to do anything to spook any other fish. You know, the thing I like to do is to just relax, just hang out in this area for a little bit. You don't have to immediately start casting, but if you're launching them away from this area, that's good. Long cast always help you, but more than anything, just take it as I see one right over there, take it as a sign. Yeah, you've spooked one, but you're in the right area. So don't look at it as a frustrating thing that, oh, I'm not going to catch that one. Let me see if I catch this one. It's a positive thing when you spook a fish. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. You've determined you're in the right area, and if you can chill out, look around, observe some other fish, and catch those. All right, I talked about those deep water boulder boils. Ooh, I see one moving out right there. talked about fishing right as these ledges end, but actually seeing fish moving around and reading the motion on the surface that says, I'm here and I'm cruising through, or I'm here and I'm eating, or I'm here, or I don't know. They do show themselves. I think we'll be able to see some motion. I just had one that was right here in this, I don't know, 8-inch deep water, right here in front of me, move out. But I think on the other side of this little gravel bar, if you look in there, see if you can see, some of those are static objects, like things that are not moving, creating those disturbances. But no, look at that, look at that. That was movement. So sometimes they'll poke at the surface, sometimes their fin just gives them away. They're moving, so I think they can be caught. Here's one in front of me. Motion. Does that convey on video? Just moved through there. Certainly it's something that you train your eye at, seeing motion on the surface. But if you figure it out, they're going to tell you where they are. So the wind is picked up, and in some ways it's helping me, in some ways it's hurting me. It's hurting my ability to look out there and really sight fish and see fish, or even see the disturbances. So that clear glassy water that I had, I don't know, just 20 minutes ago is gone, and that makes it harder to sight fish. The flip side of that is they don't see you coming. It disturbs the surface in a way that it looks like, a shower door with that kind of mottled, like wavy surface. That's designed to keep you from looking in there. And really, the same thing is at play here, where I can't always see those real subtle features I was talking about earlier, the boulder boils, the push water, and just those little dimples of the fish hitting the surface. I don't see it when the wind is on this. And the good part though is that they can't see me approaching either. All right, I decided that I'm going back down for this part of the pool because I got a lot of faith in it. The wind died, so me drifting through the 6'4" tree of a human that I am, really visible. So I'm getting my profile lower, and I'm going to drift into place and make casts on where I can see fish movement. Here's one where I see the end of the pool occurring. Just places I really think are, high probability targets. But I'm getting low because, I don't know, the sky's getting overcast and there's no wind, and I think they can see me very easy. So getting down. So reading the surface of the water for those little dimples of the fish coming up, looking for that ledge line at the end of the pool that says, yep, there's going to be a couple fish positioned here in 8 inches of water looking out into 4 feet of water, or finding that isolated boulder boil in an otherwise flat glide, flat nothing looking water. All of that is important. It tells you, hey, here's some higher percentage water. That being said, when I'm in transit, like right now, I'm moving towards a ledge line down there, but I'm still chucking and winding because so much of the time you connect with a fish when he's in transit from one feature to another. So don't put down the rod just because you're not in front of something on the surface that you saw and said, all right, we gotta go fish that. Just fan cast in between.